Hey guys, welcome to the AutoCAD Architecture Basics Edition. I'll give you a little tutorial on things you need to use AutoCAD Architecture. Now, the first thing you want to do is click on any of these number of AutoCAD Architecture on the desktop, as long as it's 2017 or the red A. If you're on the red triangle, you are wrong. Once you double click on it, you're going to get this screen and it's going to start loading up. It might take a minute or two to load. It's no big deal, especially if it's the first time you're opening it ever. It's going to take quite a while. But don't be in any hurry. It's going to run a bunch of things, and then we'll show you what to do next once it pops up. Now, generally, the first thing to pop up is this right here, Autodesk Privacy Statement. Simply agree to it, and it'll continue working. Next one you get is Data Collection Use. You should OK again, and it should work through AutoCAD Architecture. When you finally get to the desktop here, this is called the drawing window. It's where we'll create our drawing. You can do a couple things to start off. Personally, I do not like these boxes all in the way. These can be moved by grabbing anywhere in the bar. They can be minimized by the hide. You can change the properties of it. I wouldn't mess with that. Or you can just simply X them out to get rid of them. For right now, I'm just going to X them out so I don't have them. If you hit X here or X here, you'll cancel your drawing, so you don't want to do that. The same thing happens if you hit X up here. So don't use those, just the ones that show up on the side. They'll come back when you go to use them again, but for right now, just get rid of them. Often you get these little notes up here. If you want to read them and X out of them, you're welcome to. And here's another hardware issue. No big deal. Just X out it. Get yourself to good starting place. Now, once you have that, we need to learn some of the tools AutoCAD has to offer. Up top is one toolbar, and down here in the bottom is another. So the bottom one's a little more advanced. There's a couple that I'm going to show you how to use, and best to do these as I tell you to use them. Remember, this is just the intro basics. Nothing here that you can't learn through the other tutorials, but it's just get you started early on. Now, the first thing you want to do every time you start a drawing is go up here in the upper left. As you can see, it's sort of like File in a Word document. Click on that A, and you're going to have different options. You're going to have New, create a new drawing. You can name it whatever you want. Maybe I just want to say New, Open. Didn't like that for some reason. Or just allowed to say what it is, and just open a new drawing right there. So we get drawing 1 and drawing 2. I don't need drawing 2, so I'm just going to X out of that one, and it'll be okay. But you can save it. Maybe you want to save it as Mr. K Drawing, whatever you guys want to save it as, your name and the drawing. Hit save. Always good to save from the beginning. If you need to save it again, it'll be good. Other things you'll see. My drawing now shows up under Recent Documents, Mr. K Drawing. I could reopen it tomorrow this way. You can print it. You can do all sorts of things in here. But what you need to do is go to Drawing Utilities and Drawing Setup. You must do this before you start drawing, because otherwise your drawing will be in the wrong scale. Because we don't really use millimeters in this world. We use inches and feet. So click on inches. Make sure this says Architecture. And everything else should be just fine where it's at. Just make sure it says inches and architecture. Once you have that, hit OK. Now it's going to ask you to do one of 3 things. Rescale model space properties, rescale only model space objects, and don't rescale any existing objects. This would be if you have something drawn, but since you're smart and getting a head start, you're just going to click on the top one, and you'll be ready to build. Now what that allows you to do is draw in inches and feet. Say we want to draw a line. You're going to come up here and click on line. You can come anywhere on the desktop, click, and it'll give you a line. So right now it's showing me my line is 2,710 feet 6 inches. We're not working that long. If you guys remember, our wall is only 20 feet long for the bunker, so we're going to use that. 20. That's not enough. Right now you get inches if you hit 20 and hit enter. So we're going to hit 20 apostrophe. Apostrophe stands for the foot mark, guys. So you always need to put that in if you want feet. put the apostrophe in. If you don't want feet and you just want inches, just type 20, but 20 apostrophe for foot, hit enter on your keyboard. Now you may be saying, Mr. Kravatz, there's no line. If you look very closely, yes, there is a line. It's right there. It's just hard for you to see right now. What you need to do is, on your mouse, you have a scroll button. If you use your mouse and scroll in, it'll bring it into your attention. If you use your mouse and scroll down, it'll take it way further out. So if you're one of those people who like to do all this and go way, way out, and you go, Mr. Kravatz, can't even see it, there's an option for you yet. Take that same scroll button, double click it, and it'll bring the line right to the center of your screen, full width. Double click your mouse, right to the screen, full width. So you use it to scroll in, scroll out, zoom out. Double click, and it centers it in your window. So that's all on your mouse. Now, other things I did with the line that I didn't tell you was, say you just drew yourself a line, and you wanted it to be 12 feet. So I'm typing 12, apostrophe to make sure it's feet, enter. And then I got the line tool is still working. I can't just like right click and get out of it. You could right click and hit cancel to get rid of it. Or once you've drawn your line, there's a much easier way to get rid of that tag or any of the, whether you're using circle, whether you're using wall, door, whatever. If you want to get rid of it, just hit escape on the keyboard. So again, if you're using any tool, and maybe I don't want to draw this line at all, hit escape. It's a quick way to get out of it. Now we have these three lines. Maybe we don't want them. If you want to get rid of it, simply click on the line, hit delete. Now, if you say clicked on a line, then clicked up here, and maybe had something else going on, sometimes when you click on it, it won't delete right away. But all you need to do, if it's not deleting right away, is hit escape a couple of times on your keyboard, and then click on it and hit delete again. So we got lots of tools here. You saw I used that arc tool to create an arc. Say you want to create an arc. You click where you want to start, you click where you want to end, and you got an arc. Now, this is on the wrong one for what I was trying to explain to you, but this is a different version. This one is really tough to use, guys. I wouldn't use that, but you can change the version of what you want. It can be a 3-point. It can be arc start, arc center. There's all sorts of arcs in here, guys. To use the arc tool, you gotta look at what it says. Like there's arc, start, end, direction, arc, start, center, length, whatever you want to do. But I like start, end, direction. Say I want to start an arc here, I want to end it here, and I want to make it come out. I can just bring it to where I want it and click again. I've got myself an arc. Simplest one to use is that. It's not the most precise one, but it works. But remember, if you want to get rid of something, click on it, hit delete. You can also draw circles. There's several types of circles. You can use circle center radius or circle center diameter are the two easiest. You got to remember, if you have a radius, you need to put a radius in. So right now, if I want a 4-foot circle, I put a 2-foot radius. Or if I do the same thing in diameter, right now it's asking the overall diameter. As you can see, the arrows go from one to the other to 4-foot, enter, and I have 2 even circles. You can draw boxes, polygons, donuts, helixes, all sorts of stuff. The rectangle is the easiest one to use in here, personally. Draw yourself a box or a rectangle. There's other things like ovals in here and multiple points, and these three you probably won't use too much. But coming over here, you do have a couple you will use. For example, we have the move tool. There's 2 ways of moving any item. One is click on the move tool. Click your item, hit enter on your keyboard. Where you want to start moving it from, where you want to end moving it. That's simple. So you click on move, click on item, hit enter, base point you want to start the movement, down. The other way you can do it, which is even simpler, is click on it, grab the box, and drag. Move it all day doing that. You should click once to grab it, click twice to place it. Now rotate little different tool. Remember, if I want to get off something, what key do I hit? That's right, escape. If I want to rotate something, click rotate. Click on the item, hit enter. Click the corner or point you want to rotate it from. So maybe I want to rotate on this corner. Once you click on it, it'll allow you to drag it around off that corner. So again, if you want to rotate something, click it, hit enter. Click the point you want to rotate from, and rotate away. It's all up to you. Now, one thing you may have noticed before with lines is, you notice I can click on any angle I want right now. I can make all the angles in the world. But most of the time, we're just trying to go up and down and left and right. So you notice it does that automatically on those green lines. If it's not doing that, what you want to do is come right down here to this backwards L and click on it. What that will do will only allow you to go up and down or left and right. If you notice, I can only do the 4 directions. It'll only let me go left, right, up, or down. I can't get angles here. It's a good tool. It's called ortho mode. If you want to get off of it, click off of it. If they're highlighted in blue down here, guys, they're running or working. If they're not highlighted in blue, they're off. So now that I have it off, I can do any angle. Another good tool right here, the back button. You didn't like what you just did, you can hit back. You can also use Control Z on your keyboard. Control Z will undo. You as well can do redo to bring it back. The last tool that I recommend doing is coming in here and see how certain ones are checked, like endpoint, center, intersection, extension. Those are some good ones. I also like putting midpoint, perpendicular, nearest on. So at some point during your drawing, I'd make sure you check all these so they're good to go. Again, just get out of it. Just click out of it. Make sure it's highlighted in blue. These are called your snaps. Your snaps are the endpoint, was one of them I mentioned, right? See how it clicks right to the end when you get close? Or nearest. See that hourglass looking shape? That allows you to be nearest. Midpoint is a triangle, as it's showing right there. And the L showing up as perpendicular, as the label also says. So you can draw a line perpendicular to it. You can draw a line straight up and down. You can draw angles. It just depends what you're looking to do, guys. Other than that, that is pretty much all I'm going to show you on the basics tutorial. You should be trying this and doing it as you go. If you didn't do it the first time, go back and restart. Go back to where we said, oh, use the line tool. And give the line tool a try. See how it works for you. Hit escape to get away from it. Click on it and delete some of your lines. Do what the tutorial does to show you. Do it as I'm showing you. Don't just skip all these steps. Watch it once and try to figure it out. Watch a couple steps and then do it. Watch a couple more steps and then do it. If you feel uncomfortable, once you're done, you've done this tutorial, go on to Mr. Kravatz Tutorial Bunker 1 on YouTube and you'll be good to go. Other than that, make a great day, guys, and work hard.